China is set to offer the United States a trade deficit reduction package which could be as high as $200 billion a year. The news is yet to be confirmed by the White House or indeed Beijing, but does come after top trade advisor Liu He held talks with the Trump administration. Our senior international editor is Jodi Schneider. She's with us now. Could this news affect the negotiations? Because some are just saying it's just pie in the sky.
Well, it's a big number, and though we don't know the details of how they would get to that number, how that would be arranged, it is said to be through more American imports and other measures.
But just change the calculations, actually, and look at software, and that makes a big difference, but that's another story altogether.
Right. So, proof is in the pudding and all these things, devil's in the details. But if there is that serious offer of $200 billion, that is significant. It's important not only because of what it represents in terms of the reduction in the trade deficit, but it's a significant sign that China is serious about these talks and about avoiding an escalating trade war. The very fact that they sent the vice premier, who was a member of the inner circle, to Washington after the Beijing talks didn't go so well is also an important sign. So it looks like China is serious. Now the question is, what does the U.S. have to give up in return, and can this be a deal that allows them to keep talking and avoid those tariffs?
I'm going to just bring up a chart very quickly, Jodi. This is how the Chinese just don't import enough goods, actually physically manufactured goods, from the US. Now, this is the situation. This is what we've had. This is the trade deficit that we've been seeing, 120-odd billion with the US, over 120 billion. But it has come down since 2017, 2016, I should say, there as well. So you could see what's going on here, essentially. So it's a big ask, ultimately. Of course, if you want to have a look at this chart again, GTV library is where you need to go to.
Yeah, it's a big number. How you get there, again, is really important. And what else is coming with that in terms of opening in the markets? And then there's the question of the intellectual property. The U.S. has said they need the markets open and they need there to be what they view as a change in policy, because they view the Chinese as violating their intellectual property rights, and that's where ZTE came into this whole conversation. So there's a number of steps. But again, the goal here is to try to have talks that avoid the tariffs that the U.S. has said it will impose, $150 billion, and the Chinese have said they will retaliate in kind. If they can avoid that, if both sides can continue to talk, then that's significant in and of itself.
And Jodi, at the same time, though, President Trump, that is conflating trade and geopolitics again, right? What's he saying about the role that he thinks Xi Jinping might have played in the change in rhetoric from North Korea?
Yes. So switching to North Korea, President Trump had said that he thinks that the Chinese president probably was behind the change in tone in North Korea. It's become much sharper this week. North Korea has called out John Bolton, saying they find him repugnant, saying that they canceled the talks with South Korea they were supposed to have this week, and called into question whether the summit will occur in June 12th in Singapore as planned. President Trump said he hasn't heard about that he's still expecting the summit to go forward. But he also said he thinks that the Chinese president is behind this change in tone. So, again, things there seem a lot less rosy than they did at the start of the week, and certainly after the South Korea summit, where things seem to be really moving forward.